Okay, so I'm Mohamad Shalabi, the research manager at the Arab Advisors Group. Our first session today is the startups under the Spotlight panel. It's basically about a selection of startups, popularly nominated startups, presenting their business models to our panelists. And there will be interaction from the audience. You will be voting on who do you think is the most attractive startup in your opinion. So I'll invite to the stage Ms. Doha Abdelkhaleq, the managing partner and co-founder of ESKADENIA Software, and our panelists, Dr. Paul Doany, the chairman of Golden Horn Ventures, and Ms. Ronza Masarweh, the executive manager at MenaIP, and Mr. Hesham Rowaihy, Western Region Manager at Badir, Saudi Arabia, and Mr. Amjad Tadros, the founder and CEO of ShooFeeTV.
Good morning, everyone. What a good start on positive food notes. This wonderful day at the second 11th Convergent Summit, talking about startups under the spotlights, discussing dreams, visions, entrepreneurships, endeavors. My name is Doha Abdelkhaleq. I'm a managing partner at ESKADENIA Software. 14 years ago, I was sitting the same seat, same chair like those entrepreneurs. I feel even emotional about this session because it reminds me of a nice, inspiring, humble, thoughtful journey that each entrepreneur goes through in his life. And I'm really honored to be the facilitator for those entrepreneurs. Before I welcome the panelists and the entrepreneurs to this session, I would like to welcome Miss Alice. Alice is a little lady who is unique. Alice shares with the world a concern. She says, you know what? Every morning I wake up just before 6 o'clock in the morning, just before breakfast. Every morning I wake up on different 6 impossible thoughts and ideas. Amongst those thoughts that I can drink a potion that would make me shrink and small, eat a piece of cake that would make me a giant and big. And I can speak to all creatures, and you know what? Animals can talk too. Those are the dreams of Miss Alice. Well, Alice, you are not in the wonderland. You are in the lands of entrepreneurs. Today, we will hear ideas from those entrepreneurs. And if you think that those ideas are crazy or even do not make sense, please, I would like to leave you with that thought with Alice. In the panel, Paul Doany, Chairman, Golden Horn Venture. Welcome, Paul. On behalf of Bashar Hawamde, an entrepreneur himself that worked for the past 10 years establishing an amazing company called MenaIP and MenaIP. On behalf of Bashar, Ronza Masarweh, executive manager. Hesham Rowaihy from Badir, Saudi Arabia. Ahlan wa sahlan. And Amjad Tadros, founder and CEO of ShooFeeTV. Marhaban, Amjad. What we're doing now is that the entrepreneurs will come forward. And you know, again, I said that I feel strongly about this because just having the platform as an entrepreneur is probably the most important thing. A platform to come forward, a platform to put your best foot forward, a platform to just say to the world and share with the world and share with your audience who you are and what you are and what you stand for, to explain your mission and vision and business idea and business model and your dream and your project. That's an amazing endeavor. And what we've seen for the past at least 8 years in Jordan is the formation and the beginning of an amazing ecosystem and synergy that is allowing for those entrepreneurships to thrive, to prosper, and to come forward. Ideas and companies are doing well in this ecosystem, and this is reflected in the number of ideas and projects, employment within the sector, as well as a number of exports, intellectual properties, patents, and companies being formed every day. So yes, these entrepreneurs have the space now, and they can make it. Each entrepreneur, and we have 6 entrepreneurs that will present their businesses to you in 3 minutes. And what those entrepreneurs will make you feel, think, or do regarding their projects or businesses is in your hand, because you will be able to vote on those projects, and then we will have, I hope, a very positive discussion about those projects. Shall we start with the first entrepreneur, eBardy, by Mohamad Shalabi.
My name is Mohamad Shalabi, and I am going to talk about eBardy. eBardy is a business for individual and for everyone. It allows its government, individuals, governments, small businesses, health, and other organizations like non-profit organizations to be able to send animated notifications, animated messages, greetings, invitations, surveys, and even ads. It is a business for everyone. It is for individual, for government. I'm not sure how this is going. It is a business for, it's a growing business. It is for everyone, individuals, governments, health, non-profit organizations, banking sector, and it allows these customers or these users to be able to send animated invitations, notifications, greetings, surveys, messages, and even ads. Now, let's assume that it's a wedding, it's your wedding, and you have that huge list of people that you want to invite. Probably the issue here is that you need to prepare the cards and you need to distribute these cards. After you did that, with a lot of cost, a lot of effort, you even don't know how many people are going to attend the wedding. The same applies if you want to send greeting cards, whether for Christmas or for any other occasions. You need to mail these cards. You need to send them. There's an effort there, either with selecting card, distributing them, or with the post offices. A lot of countries don't have post offices, which make the market for greeting cards is limited for special markets. The same applies for businesses, whether they are governments, banks, schools. all these businesses, they are looking for customer satisfaction. And they want also to be able to interact with their customers, but at the same time, they want to reduce the cost. And they want to reduce the effort in order to do that. So mainly, this is a simple presentation of our app. It's a mobile animated app. Allows users to be able to send notifications, invitations, greetings, surveys, and ads. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mohamad, would you like to take one entrepreneur at the time or leave it to the last? I would like to take one entrepreneur at the time because I think they deserve the attention and they deserve it now. Mohamad, thank you. This is a nice idea, I like it. Mohamad, would you share with us your background? Because you strike me as non-technical person. Is that a good thing or not? Would you share with us your background in terms of the technology that you built this platform on and some of?
I have more than 20 years of experience on IT, delivering software. I worked with big organizations and big companies outside Jordan and inside Jordan. For example, inside Jordan, I worked with OWSS, maybe you remember this one. Now it's called eStarter. And I went and worked with Microsoft for 7 years. Through these 7 years, I delivered big projects like, for example, Microsoft Visual Studio, Microsoft CRM, Microsoft Vista, Microsoft Windows Server 2008, and I work with the planning for Microsoft Windows 7.
Okay, but tell me, Mohamad, and suddenly you left all this and you had a passion for this idea. Why? Where do you think the sort of catch in this project? And why would Paul from Golden Venture put his money on that project?
Well, obviously I have to listen to all the others first, right? I mean, I'm going to say, it's a good idea and the execution looks good. I mean, I can't see it very well from here, but I'm very interested to try it out, so maybe we can chat after the meeting.
Did you develop any business plan, sort of in terms of penetration, outreach, number of subscribers, monetization, revenues earned, any of those sort of factors and elements?
Yes, we have our own business plan. We have our own, how we are going to make profits, how this is going to work, all of this, yes, we have it there.
Do you believe you'll make a profit one day?
Yes, sure.
How about outreach?
So this product is, as I said, this product is for everyone. It's not just limited for individuals. It's also for businesses. And that's the power for this one. And there is a huge need for this product.
Any note from the panelists? Ronza.
Sorry.
Here we go. Amjad.
Okay. It seems to be an interesting product. I have a few questions for you to think about. Where are your revenue streams? Your revenue streams, we're going to make money. Number two, who is your first client? Because, the fact that you're saying this product is for everyone, it's scary because you cannot go and talk to everyone. You need to identify like your number one client and go after him, whether being a school or a government or, I mean, good luck, talking to anybody from the government, for example, to get one signature or a bank or a school. So if I were you, I'd just go after one client and prove the efficiency of the product and then go and talk to the others. But when you say, I want to talk to everyone, it's a non-starter, you go nowhere. And you have to identify your one client that you have to go after and where you're going to make the money from. The other question, where are you based? In Jordan?
Yes, right now we are based in Jordan, yes.
Okay, that's it.
Ronza, you had a comment as well.
So I've tried to use your website last night, and unfortunately the experience was not as good as I thought, because the registration process was not as easy, no clear instructions. I just want to give you a small note on this. You need to provide clear instruction how to register, what's missing, what's not missing, in order to catch the client. I tried 3-4 times and I gave up. You lose clients this way. So try to work on this part of the product, please.
Yes, thank you.
My name is Hesham Rowaihy. I work in a technology incubator and also represent an angel network in Saudi. So we work a lot with technology startups. I have 2 questions or probably comments. The first one is the market validation or the huge demand that you mentioned. I did not see any statistics that can back up your analysis of the market need. I have seen a lot of these websites that provide the same service. So this goes to the second question, which is, who are your competitors? Who are now in the market? I remember 15 years ago, we have seen greeting cards and online birthday cards and invitation cards a lot. So what makes you different? What's your sustainable advantage that will make you fly?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now,
Mohamad, you have to pardon us, please, because
okay, sure.
Jawad, just before we started, he said, you know, you can ask the entrepreneurs all kinds of questions, and you can even fry them if you have to. So
It's okay.
here we go. You're being fried today.
It's okay. Do I need to answer the question? Okay. I appreciate all these questions. They are all great questions. Now, we understand the concern that, okay, our registration process on the web, it is complicated a little bit on the web, but on our mobile app, we improved this process a lot. So now the registration process on the mobile app is very, very simple. And it's like you need just to enter a few information there, and it is you can log in and start using the system on the mobile app. On the web, we didn't fix that yet. Thank you for that comment. For the other questions, like, yes, we need to address the market one by one, which is a very valid point here. Yeah, we understand this, and we start doing this by individuals. So right now, we are looking just to address this for the individuals. After that, we start looking on the non-profit organizations. We address one market by another. For the other question, excuse me, can you repeat your last question? Excuse me, can
One of the questions was about the user experience.
about?
User experience coming into the website.
Oh, okay. Right now, we have like about 1,400 users entered this system. We are monitoring these users, we are interacting with these users, sending them different messages, and we are interacting with them in order to see what their experience, how they are doing with this. Yes, this didn't work in the past, like on the beginning of the internet, like the beginning of 2000th century. So that didn't work well, but now things change. At that time, there was no mobile. There was no animation. Our cards, they are animated cards, and they are amazing cards with high quality. And the advantage of our cards is that they can work with all the devices with very high quality. So whether the device, they are small devices or tablets or whatever device is going to be there, mobile device is going to be able to be delivered as a high quality cards. But also, another thing is that we provide a complete solution. So we don't just deliver greeting cards, we deliver also invitations, notifications, surveys. So we want to make people more interactive with these things. I hope I answered your question.
Well, I think the audience will be able to judge Mohamad and his project later on when we vote on Mohamad's project. Thank you for this presentation. And we'd like to present Ms.
Thank you all.
Shomali. Thank you, Mohamad.
Thank you.
Nadia Shomali, Foodlve, Nadia Shomali. Nadia, just a word out of the record. We're always proud and happy and extra pleased to see women entrepreneur in the ICT sector. And it's certainly a pleasure to have you today with the rest of the entrepreneurs. For your information, the ICT sector in Jordan is a friendly, and the number of the employment number for women are increasing by percentages that are progressing compared to other classical sectors, and we think that the employment is about 24% for women. So it's certainly a place for you to thrive and prosper. Nadia, أهلا وسهلا فيكي.
Thank you very much. Anyone hungry? If anyone hungry, please don't see our presentation. Okay, there are huge demand on food, especially in social media. The surprise fact that we found 57% of all shared material in social media is related to food. And there are more than 100,000 food bloggers finding it so hard to reach their own fans in a cost-effective way. Also, many new food brands coming every month, and also they are finding it too hard to reach their own consumers and food lovers also in cost-effective way. Moreover, Google launched a search category especially for recipes. Also, in average, 30% of US troopers buy groceries online, and this is growing. So, for all these demands, we identify the opportunity to find one platform for food lovers to search, share, blog, sell, and buy all about food. And this place is Foodlve. So Foodlve is the one place where you can search, bookmark, share, sell, and buy everything related to food. That is Foodlve. You saw a small video about our mobile application, and this is a screenshot of our homepage, and this is a screenshot of the mobile app. What we achieved so far? So far, we have more than 7,000 weekly active food bloggers, from professional chefs and professional nutritionists and video production companies. And we reached on average 1 million monthly active users per month. And in terms of content, we have more than 700,000 quality content on our platform from users and video production companies and professionals. And we are part of Share This and add this widgets. And on last year, we were from the top 20 social media sites in the world. So our revenue streams, commission and sale, because as I said, that users can sell food-related products. Also, highly targeted advertisements to be related only to food and this sector. Also, paid contributions from professionals or restaurants or anyone want to promote his business through content. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadia. Nadia, I'm curious, do you love food? Do you love food yourself?
Sure, I love
Do you
food
cook
and,
yourself?
Yes, I cook.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Are any of the recipes that you made are inside this this website?
Yes, actually, I started Foodlve at the start only for me, not as a business. So the first few recipes was my own recipes.
I'm just teasing you. It's just a yummy subject, and again, between yummy subjects and marthastewart.com or oprah.com in terms of industrialization and monetization, where are we from those different scenarios? Hesham? Anyone?
You want us to ask questions or answer your question?
Actually, I would like to answer that because I would like to see those websites and portals and women endeavors as good as Martha Stewart in terms of monetization one day. And that's my wish for her.
Sorry, you want us to answer the question?
Or give her the advice.
Advice. Well, I mean, I talked to her before. I love her product. I think it's very well done and well executed. But I'm afraid you are in the wrong place. Because this is targeted for like Western audience. And you sit in Amman, Jordan, and for you to acquire merchandising and things to sell on the side, you are in the wrong place. So that's my only concern about you. But the product is really well done. And the other thing is with food, it's usually very much related to a person. Now the people who cook or who buy food, it's like Martha Stewart. People know Martha Stewart and they trust her as a person. Okay, not to buy stocks from her, but from, but they take her food recommendations or like what color should we use for our curtains. So I think your site lacks that personal name to it.
So your best advice would be for Nadia is to present her best foot forward as Nadia and start branding herself and her title and her products in order to capitalize on that and sell more products online. Is that your
maybe
your
attach a
key
face
advice?
to the
Okay.
to the product.
All right. Does that make any sense for a banker or a venture capital or investor? Is that the way? Capitalize, it's because in such projects, especially internet projects, it's always about where do you put your money? Do you put it on the person per se or in the project? It's in the monetization or in the person. Is it personal or it is business? Pure cold business or pure personal? And where do you put the sort of line between, especially in internet projects where nobody knows who is behind the computer? It can be anybody. For that matter, it's a mouse now,
Actually, I mean, answering general questions like this is very inefficient in a minute, but I can just say that for this particular product, for example, if someone is trying to, it depends on the money you have, basically. And, in this type of thing, if you're in a small country like Jordan, for example, just a small market in itself, which also applies to the first person as well. The difficulty with small markets is that you end up being stuck in that small market. So, I think what I liked here mostly is that when I saw that they are in the US, and I think that's exactly, what you should do. So I kind of disagree if I understood what you said. On the contrary, I'd rather go to a large market and have a big go at it, even though small money there may not have such a big impact there, but I'd rather take that risk in that market than take it in a smaller market as this one. Especially a market that is also, I don't want to say US only, by the way, but I mean in a market that also people are interested in different kinds of foods as well. And they like, difference can be something that excites them. And you could sometimes surprise yourself with little money making an impact in a large market, but frankly, spending any money in a small market would be generally wasted, in my opinion, because as soon as people see you're doing it, they will copy you, even in your small market, you see, and the problem is copying, really. It's not just what you do in the end. That's what I would say generally, especially in this case, though. And I think this looks very good. In fact, the ad and all of that looked truly international, and I think that's great. That's what I would do, definitely.
Okay, thank you for your comment. And And we already a global product, and our platform is in English, and the content and food bloggers, most of them from US. And we started from the start targeting global market, not local market. That's why the main language of the platform is English, not Arabic. So you are right, that's only focusing on small market, not make any benefits.
That's lovely, Nadia. What do you feel about the first observation, branding yourself as Nadia, as Martha Stewart, and going forward? Does that ring a bell?
No, because the idea is to have a community of food lovers and food bloggers and anyone to share and to communicate and so on. So it's not a content only or only to focus on one person or so on. It's like a social platform more than one person platform.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. We leave the audience with this thought towards the third entrepreneur, Faisal Hakki Kohlah. And for the name alone, you deserve an applause. Kohlah.
Thanks, Doha. It's actually Faisal Hakki.
أهلا يا فيصل. And please start with, like, where did you come up with this nice branding, Kohlah?
Thanks. I'll talk a bit about that maybe during the Q&A. I'll try to stick with the 3-minute deadline that Jawad gave us. So today I'll be talking about Kohlah, which is the first, or it aims to become the first online beauty store in the Arab world. I'll start by talking a bit about the market itself. It's a nice, juicy $10 billion a year market in the Arab world. It's continuously growing. We have new segments coming online, including halal products and men's grooming, which were almost non-existent just a few years ago. And then you have stuff like that, like the report done by Shaloub Group, which basically tagged Gulf youth as undisputed shopping addicts. And it's a perfectly suited market for e-commerce. Why? Because we have a high customer lifetime value. This is because of the repeat purchase of the products. So people usually, when they're shopping for cosmetics, they know exactly what they want, and 80% of those purchases are repeat. There's high brand loyalty, so I mean, these products actually sell themselves by themselves. Yet somehow the industry has remained extremely offline, and this is mainly because of logistical and legislative hurdles. This has to do with courier services not being able to ship liquids, and different countries having different FDA rules, health ministry rules, and all of those different sort of red tape. So what have we done to overcome this problem? We've basically decentralized our supply chain. So instead of having one depot in Dubai where we ship across the country or across the region, we've actually, we've broke it down into separate markets, separate countries. So now we're working directly with the suppliers in each of those markets and helping them deliver their products to their end users. And how does decentralization work? Well, basically because it eliminates the need for air couriers. There's no custom compliance, there's no cross-border shipping, there's no FDA health ministry compliance. And because we've decentralized our supply chain, we're able to deliver extremely fast. So unlike the usual 30-day plus delivery time, we can actually deliver either on the same day or next day. And this is something that even Amazon hasn't been able to achieve in the US. And again, because we're working with the suppliers in each market, we have almost zero inventory in each of the markets that we operate in. One thing that we paid attention to when building Kohlah is not to over-invest in the platform itself. So we've noticed that e-commerce platforms have become very much a commodity. So we've picked something off the shelf, we've customized it, and we've actually spent more money on building content and enhancing the experience. This is the rockstar team behind Kohlah. It's actually two bearded guys, no women there yet. I'm the number cruncher. My background is in venture capital. Hesham, my brother, is the operational guy. So what have we learned so far from Kohlah? Selling high involvement products such as cosmetics is extremely sticky. We have a low bounce rate, we have a high average basket size, and our average session duration is also high compared to other e-commerce platforms. We've also learned that if you have unique, relevant, and high-quality content, your cost of acquisition will be extremely diminished, and your conversion rates will also improve. A major challenge that we faced in most of the markets that we're working with is the counterfeit market. There's a massive counterfeit market in the Arab world. And I mean, this is one of the reasons why the suppliers have been so eager to work with us, because we're actually complementing, extending their arm, and we're not trying to compete with them. What's next for Kohlah? We are rolling out in the UAE, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia, and we're raising funds to invest in a creative team and customer experience and in a CRM system. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Faisal. Any comments on Faisal endeavor? Ronza?
Thank you very much for the presentation. The question is, have you made any money? Did you make money? Did you actually make sales?
Yes, yes. We've been operational since January in Jordan. Our target is to hopefully end the 12-month period at $250,000 in sales.
Okay, and have you identified your top competitors in the market? Because
well, that's the nice thing about cosmetics. There aren't really top competitors in the market. I mean, you have the souks and the sukkars and the strawberry.net, all of those. None of those are focused on cosmetics. None of those have the full range of products that we can offer, and none of those offer any content on when it comes to beauty products. So it's sporadic, it exists, but it's not focused, it's sporadic. And the best thing about it is that, I mean, people like Sukkar and Souk, they have these products available in certain markets, but not all. So you have a lot of products in Dubai, but you can't ship any of those to Jordan.
The last question, are you full-time committed
yes,
to this?
Yes, this is my full-time job. I quit my job, I think it was May last year, and I've been at this for the past year.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I have a suggestion for you.
Sure.
If you can add a section about experts in the beauty field, and to get this look, you can buy 1, 2, 3. It would be good marketing for the website.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the next step. I mean, this is why we're raising funds. I mean, again, I need to have unique, quality, original content in Arabic. Yeah. Okay, and this is something that, I mean, very few people have been able to offer in the market.
Faisal, I was intrigued by a note. You said something about halal products.
Yes.
Is that a value-added proposition focus that are you trying to sell to the European market as well and the users in that part of the world?
Yes, yes.
And is it working well for you in terms of focus and probably attention to products?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, halal products is not our core focus. I mean, it's something that we will offer in the market. It is a very substantial and sizable market. It's valued at around $12 billion globally. And this, again, it's
what's the number? $12 million halal products?
$12 billion.
Billion.
Yes, yeah, 12. I mean, this is just halal beauty products. The halal product market is around $2 trillion a year. Exactly. So it's a nice market to be in. Unfortunately, we can't grab all of those. I mean, we can't grab it on a global basis because we work on in a local model. But again, it's something that hasn't been offered in the market.
Would you think that this sort of added value proposition in terms of genuine proposal that is different would serve wider markets, especially the sort of Arabs in Europe that can buy this based on that specific branding? Would you advise him to focus on this part for the future? As part of an expansion plan for wider range of customers?
Actually, based on what I've seen and what this makes a lot of sense is that you have a regional story without having the transmission part, or what, I'm a telecom person, I don't know what the equivalent, the delivery part, whatever. So, you know, and that deals with the big brands is a very good idea. But the Arabic culture part is important. It's a regional and a culture and the language and all of that. So Jordan is a good base. It's a low-cost base to maintain that quality part. So you can be very competitive if someone tries to copy you very quickly. I think the distribution model is really very, very smart. So I really like this thing. And whether Arabs living in other countries would be interested in using it or not, I think that would be probably maybe a small upside on your business. But obviously now, said Egypt, UAE, and
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia, well, the most important market.
That's
Saudi Arabia
50%.
is the one you have to go to for
Exactly,
sure. And of course, Egypt as well. UAE is a very good market, but again, it's not of size. But no, I think this is very interesting, really. The approach is very smart, very smart.
Thanks.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
سامر Abbas, Play Arabi.
Assalamu alaikum. Samir min Play Arabi. Play Arabi is a new new game publisher based in Amman, and we're focused on the Arabic-speaking markets. We want to enrich people's lives with play and through play, which is created by and for the Arab users. We are 3 founders with 20 years of experience. I think what this really means is that we know enough to know that we don't know much in the market. What makes us special, I think, is that we are data-driven. Sorry, catching my breath here. We let data inform our decisions, whether to invest more into products or kill products. And we respect the user. We don't treat them as numbers. We want them to love our products. Since I'm short on time, I'll start talking about challenges. Now, the Middle East region is, I think it's a low maturity market, low maturity digital market. And this shows in various ways. We have, thank you. Yes, we have rampant jailbreak and fraud, especially among teenagers. We have low credit card usage, which is affecting conversion on mobile games. We have harsh operator billing terms. So we have, so for example, when you have a 3D rich, massively multiplayer online game, and you are getting the same revenue share percentage as an info SMS. Payout cycles can be very long, and this can make or break a startup. We face tough platform policies. We had to establish a company in the US to be able to publish paid apps in the region. Last thing is that game development capacity. We're focused on Arab users. We think focusing on Arab developers will create something unique that is more relevant for Arab users. But game development capacity is very low in the region. We don't have a lot of very good developers. We don't have a lot of good products coming out of the region. So this is a challenge for us. And the first point up there is about the content sensitivity. So I come from the research background, and I know from the data I've been looking at for years that religion and political content is hit content in the region. But good luck tackling these without seriously pissing off someone. Now, our activities are publishing and co-publishing with third-party developers. We have also in-house game development capacity, and we are about supporting game developers through mentorship, through publishing their games and product managing their games. And we are to build an ecosystem and to create a healthy ecosystem for game development in the region. We are seriously going after distribution partnerships with telcos, broadcast media, online media, handset manufacturers, everybody who can really help solve the distribution and payment problems. So far, we've released 2 games. These are pilot projects we released very quickly. We have, since April, 60,000 downloads, which generated 1 million play sessions, which is equivalent to over 15 sessions per user. So I think we have very high engagement on our games. We have 5 games in the pipeline. One of them will be out in Ramadan. And that's basically it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Every time we hear about content in the Arabic, using Arabic language, we get ecstatic because we accuse that we are using English and there's not enough content in Arabic on the internet. And what we have now is that the content in Arabic is only 3% of the international content, of which developers and content providers from Jordan and the Saudi Arabia are the largest contributors. So it's always good news to see Arabic content thriving online. Any notes from the panelists? Thank you.
Hello. Sorry, I must have missed something. What do you do exactly?
Mobile game publisher. Game publisher.
You create a game
in Arabic. In Arabic.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important.
That was the first sentence. Sorry, you missed it.
And do you create the game yourself, or do you get it from somebody else?
We're primarily a publisher, but just like publishers on a global level, everybody has development capacity for when there's not enough product to get from outside. It depends on the product, basically.
Do you create the game yourself, or somebody else does it for you?
No, we publish and we develop. So depending on the product, we might publish something from Europe or from Arab developers in the region, or we can develop the game internally ourselves. Depends on the product itself, on the project.
We have 15 minutes more to take another 2 entrepreneurs. So we'll be quick with the questions. Ronza, if you have any other questions.
Just one note. You mentioned that you have 60,000 downloads.
Yes.
How many active users?
30% of those are active.
All right. I was intrigued by your note about the lack of technical capabilities from the developers. Is that a statement? You can't find the good developers, and what's going on here?
Sorry?
You said that our developers are not developing games quickly or correctly, if I understood.
Yes, no, it's about capacity. There's not much, there aren't a lot of talented teams and very few games coming out of Arab developers. There is talent, but just you need to support it and nurture it.
All right, so what are you going to do about it?
Well, we have experience, as I said. We have a lot of product experience. And we have also connections with the European and global game industry. Okay. So we have set up to mentor those developers and help them get their games out and properly product manage their games. Yeah.
So you'll be depending mostly on training young developers to do the games and help with the content and expand your content further and to go to the next step, right?
Yes, but it's not really training. We work with the best developers in the Arab world, and they still have some skill gaps. For example, they don't know how to design monetization in the game. They don't know how to market their game. So we help them with the parts they are not so savvy with.
Okay, but you're confusing me here because you're going to outsource the competence. You think that the competence is not ready yet, and I have no idea about how these competence will cost you as a platform. Help me here. What are you going to do about it?
Okay, now what I said is that developers in the region, there aren't a lot of great developers. There are some gems. There are the rockstar teams, and we're working with 2 of those. But we really look at it from a product point of view. So for us, some products would make sense to bring them over from Europe, a product that's already released in Europe, and we just license it and release it in the region. Some products would make sense to work with Arab developers if we see potential in their game idea. And for some products that we can't work, either setup doesn't work, we can develop it internally. So we're flexible in how, it really depends on what product we see potential in the market. Hey, thank you.
Welcome, Samir Tarazi, RedTroops.
Hi, good morning. My name is Tarazi, and I'm the CEO of RedTroops. RedTroops is the eBay for in-app advertising. So we're here to actually bridge the gap between app developers and advertisers and make it easier for everybody to get into in-app advertising. The problem as it exists today is that you have the advertisers and the app developers. And for them to generally place an ad, they go through an ad network. What happens after that is you start getting the advertisers throwing money into this black box, which is an ad network. And I say black box because the advertisers really have no way of telling how their money is actually being spent or where the ad is being displayed. So they generally just trust that the ad network does the best work possible, placing the ads in the right place and getting the best return of investment. And that rarely happens. From the other point of view of an app developer, they start adding all these SDKs and getting random formats of ads thrown into their apps. They also have no way of telling, are these apps actually fit for my target customers, and how much am I getting paid by the end of the day? So what I'm saying here is the whole process actually lacks transparency and control. And it makes the whole thing feel like you're kind of being ripped off. And that makes it really unusable for a lot of people. And that's what we're here to fix. So the opportunity is right now. With the average person spending 3 hours a day using their smartphones, 86% of that time is actually spent within a mobile application, which means if anybody isn't into in-app advertising, they should get into it right away. That is proven by the fact that the in-app advertising market is going to grow a staggering 5x in the next 5 years to become a $17 billion market. So what do? We start off by helping anyone create a rich media ad. It's so simple, your grandmother can use it. So it's a simple drag and drop tool. You can create a rich media interactive tool by just simply dragging videos, images, buttons to create any sort of ad. Once you're done, you head into our marketplace where you view all the apps in the network and you can choose the one that fits you best. For a more targeted approach, we allow people to search for apps according to category, how many weekly active users they have, which countries are they getting most of their downloads from, and even the budgets they're willing to pay. So by doing that approach, we figured out we're going to be covering the small to medium publisher size market. And we thought that's not enough. We want to go further. So we are offering our services on a solution-based approach, where we provide premium publishers with more than 10 million downloads with an approach which is their very own self-serve ad platform in a white label solution that is implemented within their websites. Our business model is really simple. We get a commission on every marketplace transaction that takes place. As for the solution-based approach, we do a freemium licensing model. The challenges, well, it's just getting people to understand what a startup really is. I mean, good luck registering a company called RedTroops. And then you get into hiring employees and getting them to understand what a startup is. And then you get into the investors and getting fair terms and so on. So that's been most of the challenges that we faced, but the ecosystem is getting there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samir.
Paul, I'm looking at you. I don't know why, but I think there's something. Yeah?
Just excellent presentation.
Thank you.
And we deal with a lot of startups, technology startups back in Saudi Arabia, and they all have some problems creating the revenue stream they wanted from advertisement. And so I wanted to ask your direct customers, the advertisers, not the business or the app developers, right?
I didn't get the last sentence.
So you are actually selling your product to advertisers so they can know where to advertise the product?
No, what we're doing is it's a total solution. So advertisers come in, sign up, they have the tools to create the ads. On the other end, the publishers or the app developers actually implement our SDK, and they get access to all these developers on a network as well.
So even our startups, technology startups or ICT startups, they can use your product to enhance the revenue stream for the advertisement part.
Definitely. They can use it directly using our RedTroops.com marketplace without doing any other issues than just adding our SDK. Or if they're big enough and they have a lot of advertisers coming direct to them, then they can use our solution-based approach and have it implemented within their website.
Have you made any revenues so far?
We're launching our private beta this June.
Okay, so no customers yet?
We're just piloting it on about 10 apps.
Okay,
yes. No problem.
Samir, how do you advertise for your own channels and
Yeah,
outreach?
definitely. Well, we ourselves started as app developers. We created apps and games, launched them into the App Store. We faced the same problems. We looked into a lot of solutions, tried them out, and the first places we looked is developer forums. We started asking other developers, and so we know all the familiar places where app developers are actually looking for answers. We're going to go directly there, a direct approach to get a lot of publishers on board to grow our network. And then by doing a solution-based approach, we're going to also, exponentially grow that, because getting one premium publisher gives you access to 100 apps or so on.
Paul, where do you see the monetization evolving from here? There are elements of cashing in the process.
Obviously, the main thing I like about this is the white label approach. Of course, you have to make it happen. But it's a very good idea, because I think it's achievable if you just hook one, and the cost of trying is not very high. It's very important, for small companies to take risk on things that you can find out if you're right or wrong very fast, as opposed to thinking you're going to become very big and then you fail, because you can't become very big in the larger scale of things that you did there. So I would say, if I were in this company, I would put the smartest person I have on the white label part, and let the rest focus on the making the market, which is basically finding people, convincing them, build that lower end that you did. But we'll talk later about the second part. I think that sounds very interesting.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samir.
Thank
we
you.
have 5 minutes yet to go to take Tamatem, Hussam, Hammo.
Hello everyone, my name is Hussam Hammo, the CEO and founder of Tamatem. Tamatem means tomato in English. And we're the mobile games and apps publisher for the Arabic market. Arabic is the 4th biggest language in the entire world, and the number is growing really fast. There are over 60 million Arabic smartphone users out there, and the number is expected to reach 100 million in 2016. But the problem is only 1% of all content available online is available in Arabic. And when we look at iPads, iPhone, Android, it's so much less than that. So what usually happens, me and my friends always download the latest apps and latest games from the US App Store. These 4 apps have been downloaded over 100 million times in the US market. But the problem is they are not culturally relevant. It's really hard for me to play them, not because of the language barrier, it's because of the cultural barrier. So what happened in the US in 1936? Who got married to whom? Especially if the games are quiz games, riddles, guess the celebrity, guess that, guess whom. So what we have done is we became a publisher, and we achieved a status of a publisher by launching our own localized versions of so many different apps to reach that status. So we have made our own versions of riddles, quizzes, and today we have 18 games in the App Store. We have games like racing games, we have fill the word, fill songs, true or false. We even worked with IKEA to do a culturally relevant game for the store that they have. We have been launched since 5 months, and till today we have 2.5 million downloads on iOS and Android. And this is just the beginning. This is a huge market that includes Saudi Arabia, which has one of the highest average revenue per user in the entire world. We are a mobile publisher, so don't confuse us with a developer. We are just building the foundation of what will become a really huge publisher in the market. And we are offering developers the services of localization and translation, community management, support, helping with monetization, and on the other path, we are helping them with marketing, reach top of the charts, and provide them with analysis, and in exchange, we will take a revenue share from that cut. Again, my name is Hussam, and I have started the first Arabic social network in the world in 2006. It got acquired by Maktoub, and then after 2 years, I started Wizards Productions in 2009. It was one of the first gaming studios in the region. Then last year, I went to Silicon Valley. This company is based in the US. It's a 500 startup company. We have an excellent team of developers, designers, community management, quality assurance, and we have an excellent array of investors that are helping and supporting us during this period. Let me just tell you a little bit about some numbers. So today we're averaging around 30,000 downloads per day, and the revenue is growing based on how many downloads you are getting in the market. We are expecting to reach $30,000 per month by the end of this year, and we are hitting break-even point by the end of this month. Our projections by end of 2014 is to have 50 games in the App Store and to have 15 million downloads across all the apps. Thank you so much for being here, and my name is Hussam. My company is Tamatem. If you want to talk to us after that, please reach out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hussam. We have apple, and we have orange, and now we have tomato. Welcome to the gang.
Yes, exactly.
Any comment?
Actually, this is very impressive, I have to say. In the time that it's done, I think the name is very interesting.
Thank you.
By the way, do you know where Tamatem comes from, the name?
No.
It's actually a Turkish word, because they say Tomatem, and it's T-O-A-M. I'm happy that you spelled it the Arabic way, by the way, because they won't be able to get away.
Yeah.
Actually, it's very impressive. I think the approach is right, and breaking even at that point in time is interesting, but you're going to need money as opposed to breaking even. So you need to talk to those investors, actually, because this is an area that is investment hungry, as opposed to trying to break even with what you can do. And you need to hit it very fast, I think.
Yeah,
what looks good looks good.
We have raised money from the U.S. investors. We have raised around $400,000 so far.
Do you employ staff in Jordan? And
Yeah,
how many are those?
we have 8 full-time employees in Amman. All of the pictures that you have seen are located in Jordan.
For the sake of time, I've been told 6:30 is our maximum. It's time to vote. Ladies and gentlemen, how these entrepreneurs and these projects made you feel, think, and do is in your hands. Please help us with the voting and rating of those entrepreneurs. Let's start with the questions that will help you rate those amazing projects and endeavors. All right. Okay. After hearing from the companies, which them you are likely to use? 6 projects. Companies which them you are likely to use, would you please vote? All right. Tamatem, F.
Was that a surprise? No? Yes? Right.
All right. Second question. Which of the startups has a compelling business model that will generate good returns for the investors?
Please vote.
That's a close match. That's good news for 3 companies, really, and I seem to share this result as well. The other question? The person most likely to become a millionaire is, wow. Okay. That's a good bet for 3 good entrepreneurs as well. That's a good outcome. In Arabic, we say inshallah, and it's a long road ahead. Any other voting questions, or that's finished? All right. Thank you very much for your good attendance.